Okay, so I'm here to talk a little bit today about what it means to be in the DAT and my journey and the best advice I could potentially give to all the future DAT students here at Indiana State University. And I think the first thing when I reflect back on the person I was 2 years ago when I first started this, I was definitely insecure clinically. I was unsure about what I was getting myself into. I wanted all the answers. So I think the interesting part about it is that when I listened to myself from 2 years ago, I wanted a rubric for every assignment that told me exactly what to do, exactly how to do it, exactly what my professors wanted from me. I wanted this like cookie cutter perfect assignment to be able to turn in because I wanted to be perfect for this program, and I wanted to do my best, and I wanted to be the best, and I wanted this structure. And I think that throughout this journey, what's interesting is that I've let go of that need. I feel like I don't need that anymore because they've developed us as thinkers, and they've forced me to develop things on my own and figure out what I think and what I think is good work, what I want to reflect, what I want to build, what I want to create, and what's impactful for my own clinical practice and who I am personally as a clinician. And I think that giving us these assignments that don't necessarily have this structure to it or don't necessarily have this idea of exactly what the end product is supposed to look like really allows us as students to tailor these assignments to what we're passionate about. And I think that that almost makes this program more meaningful because all 21 of us are not going to graduate to be the exact same clinician with the exact same experience in this program with all of the exact same assignments. So we're allowed to be our own person. And I think that they force us to dive into who we are as leaders, who we are as clinicians, what our beliefs are, what our values are, what our passions are. And I think that that has been the most rewarding part of this program because I have such a better vision for what my future is going to look like and some of the issues in the profession that I want to tackle. And I've been given the tools to be able to do that. And, I think coming in, the best advice I can give is to remember what the initial excitement feels like. And the first letter to myself, my future self. So our first assignment was to write a letter to ourselves. And I just reread it, being close to 10 days from graduation. And I told myself to remember the excitement of week 1 because I remember the first evidence-based practice class. I loved it. It was all of this new information, all of these big ideas, all of these things that were going to change our entire framework of clinical practice. And it was awesome. And I was so engaged and excited. And, things get hard. You get overwhelmed. You're doing clinical practice. You're doing a ton of coursework. You're doing research. You're going to be doing all of these things. And I think it was great advice to myself and great advice that I can give to somebody else is to remember what that felt like. Remember the excitement of what the end product is going to look like. And the end product is that you are going to be an entirely different clinician than you were to begin with. And all of these ideas that I thought were right weren't necessarily right. And, it all brings me back to the desire for structure. I wanted all the answers. I wanted a piece of literature, a piece of evidence to say, this is exactly what you should be doing with your patients. And this is why. And this is the outcome that you're going to get. I feel like I thought coming into grad school that that's what I was going to do. I was going to dive into all this literature and all this research, and then I was going to know exactly what I was supposed to do all of the time. And that's definitely not the case. And so I feel like what this program has done for me is forced me to kind of let go of needing one right answer. And I've been forced to create my own clinical thinking and my own clinical framework that's entirely different from any other classmate that I have here. And I'm so thankful for that because I'm able to walk into a challenge in clinical practice and it doesn't really faze me anymore. And confidence is a huge thing. I think that I feel like I'm I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time, and you're going to make mistakes all the time in academics, in research, in clinical practice throughout this program. But I know I'm on the right track. I think all of the philosophies and ideas that are presented to you in this program are so much bigger than us as one individual clinician. And I think that's really empowering. And it allows me to go into work every day knowing that I'm doing the right thing, even if I do make a mistake. And, I think coming into a DAT, it being new, all of us, as we're all searching for jobs as the first cohort, and it's a lot of pressure. And I think it was a lot of pressure on day one because I wasn't really sure what the expectation was. I wasn't really sure what the standards for a doctorate in athletic training was supposed to be. And I think that I failed a few times. I was lower than the expectations that my professors had for me. And that's all part of the process. I think within this program is I thought I was doing the best I could, and they said, no, you can do better. And I'm so thankful for them pushing me that hard. And so I think that's what you have to remember is that you're not always going to be perfect, but do your best and then do better. And I think that we're constantly challenged to not do the same assignments, not do the same quality of work, not do the same type of work. We're constantly pushed out of our comfort zones clinically and academically. And so I have accomplished and created things that I never thought that I would do. So I think that's what it means to be in the DAT for me, is that your entire philosophy as a clinician should be different the day you graduate than it was the day that you came in. And I think the biggest thing for me is that we are on the forefront of this profession, on the forefront of healthcare, and we have to go out there and prove our value of this degree and prove our worth. And I think to do that, you have to advocate, you have to have passions, you have to have beliefs. And I think that that's what this program really offers, is it's building all of these different clinicians who are able to approach challenges within the profession and actually change them, not just notice them, not just be a part of them, but actually change them.